The Discovery, the Grand Council chamber was silent. Admiral Zexthor looked at the holographic display with all four of his eyes. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Show me again, he commanded. The image flickered. 3 of their patrol ships had vanished. Just gone. No distress signals. No wreckage, nothing. Where did they disappear? Zexthor asked. Near human territory, Admiral. The young officer replied nervously. The entire council room erupted in laughter. The humans? Council leader Varkesh laughed so hard his scales rattled. Those weak creatures? They barely have weapons. But Admiral Zexthor did not laugh. He had been a warrior for 300 years. He knew danger when he saw it, and this felt like danger. Send a scout ship, he ordered. I want to know what happened. Admiral, surely you don't think I said send a scout ship? Zexthor's voice echoed through the chamber. The laughter stopped. 2 days later, Scout Captain Rilix entered human space. His small ship was invisible to most scanners. Perfect for spying, this is foolish, his co-pilot muttered. Humans are harmless. Everyone knows this. Rilix wasn't so sure. Humans had been quiet for 50 years. Too quiet. They stopped asking for meetings, stopped sending messages. They just disappeared into their own space. Captain, I'm detecting something ahead. The scanner officer called out. What is it? I don't know. It's massive. The size of a small planet. Rilix leaned forward. A planet? In the middle of empty space? Yes, sir. But it's not on any maps. It shouldn't be here. The captain felt his blood run cold. Something about this was very wrong. Take us closer. But stay hidden. The scout ship moved silently through the darkness. As they approached, the massive object came into view. It looked like a dark planet. No lights, no movement. Just floating there. Run a deep scan, Rilix ordered. The scanner officer worked quickly. Then he stopped. His face turned pale. Captain, this is impossible. What is it? That's not a planet. It's hollow. There are structures inside, cities, power sources, and what? Weapons, sir. Thousands of them. Maybe millions. This thing is covered in weapon systems. Rilix couldn't breathe. A structure the size of a planet, filled with weapons, built by humans. The species they all thought was weak and primitive. We need to leave, now. But before they could turn around, something happened. The massive structure began to move. Lights flickered on across its surface. Millions of lights. The entire thing was waking up. They detected us. The co-pilot screamed, full power to engines. Get us out of here! The scout ship turned and accelerated. But the massive structure was faster than it should be. Something that big should move slowly. But it didn't. It turned toward them like a predator watching prey. Rilix watched in horror as massive sections of the structure opened. Giant cannons emerged from hidden doors. Each cannon was bigger than his entire ship. Faster. Go faster! They were almost to the jump point. Almost safe. Just a few more seconds. Then they heard it. A sound that would haunt Rilix forever. A deep humming that made the whole ship vibrate. The structure was powering up its weapons. Jump! Jump now! The ship disappeared into faster-than-light travel, just as a massive energy beam shot past them. The beam was so powerful, it lit up the entire region of space. When they arrived back at the council station, Rilix was shaking. He had been in hundreds of battles, faced death many times, but nothing prepared him for what he saw. Admiral Zexthor was waiting for him. Report, the Admiral commanded. Sir, the humans, they built something impossible. Explain. It's a warship, Admiral, but it's the size of a planet, covered in weapons, powered by something we've never seen before. And sir, what? It moved. Something that massive moved like a fighter ship. The humans have been building this for years, while we laughed at them, while we ignored them. The council chamber was silent again. But this time, no one was laughing. Admiral Zexthor looked at the data Rilix brought back. His expression grew darker with each second. How many ships did we lose? He asked quietly. 3 patrol ships, sir. And how many of these planet ships do the humans have? Rilix swallowed hard. I don't know, sir. But if they built one, he didn't need to finish. Everyone understood. The humans, the species they had mocked and dismissed, had been secretly preparing. And now, the galaxy was about to discover just how dangerous humans could be. Admiral Zexthor stood up slowly. Send a message to all council members. Emergency meeting tonight. What should I tell them, sir? The Admiral looked at the hologram one more time. The massive structure floating in space. The weapon that wasn't supposed to exist. Tell them, he said quietly, "that we have a very big problem." The secret revealed. The emergency council meeting began at midnight. Every species in the galaxy sent representatives. The chamber was packed with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Admiral Zexthor stood at the center. He played the recording from Scout Captain Rilix. The entire council watched in silence. When the video ended, chaos erupted. "Impossible!" someone shouted. "Humans don't have this technology. This must be a trick." Council leader Varkesh slammed his hand on the table. "Silence! Admiral, are you certain this is real?" "Yes, leader. I sent 3 more scout ships. They all confirmed it. The structure is real, and it's fully operational." An old ambassador from the Cretan Empire stood up. Her name was Elder Shira. She was known for her wisdom. "I warned you all," she said quietly. 50 years ago, I warned you." Everyone turned to look at her. "What do you mean?" Varkesh asked. "Do you remember when the humans came to us? They asked for peace treaties. They asked to join our trade networks. They asked for protection. Yes, and we refused," Varkesh said. "They were too primitive, too weak. We didn't just refuse," Elder Shira continued. "We laughed at them. We mocked them. We told them they were worthless." The room grew quiet. "And then what happened?" she asked. The humans went silent. They stopped asking. They retreated to their own space. For 50 years we heard nothing from them. Admiral Zexthor nodded slowly. "You think they were building this the entire time?" "I don't think." "I know." Elder Shira activated her own hologram. It showed star maps of human territory from 50 years ago. "Look at this. 50 years ago, humans controlled 20 star systems. They had small mining operations. Basic colonies. Simple ships." She changed the image. "Now look at this. Current scans of human space." The council gasped. Entire asteroid belts were gone. Planets had been stripped of resources. Massive construction zones floated in every system. "They've been mining everything," someone whispered. "Not just mining," Elder Shira said. "Building. They took every resource they had. Every mineral, every metal, every ounce of material. And they built weapons." She zoomed in on the construction zones. "These structures are enormous. The one we discovered is just the beginning. According to our intelligence, there are more." "How many more?" Varkesh demanded. "We don't know. But look at the scale of their mining operations. They could have built several of these planet ships." Admiral Zexthor pulled up new data. "Our analysis team studied the structure. Let me tell you what they found." He displayed a cross-section of the warship. The outer shell is 5 kilometers thick, made from compressed neutronium, the strongest material in the known universe. Our weapons cannot penetrate it. He zoomed in further. Inside there are cities. Actual cities. We detected millions of life signs. Humans live inside this warship. They have farms, factories, homes, everything. They built a world, someone whispered. "A mobile world." "Yes," Zexthor confirmed. "But it's not just a world. It's a weapon platform." He highlighted the weapon systems. "We counted over 50,000 primary cannons, each one capable of destroying a battleship with a single shot. We estimate there are millions of smaller weapons, point defense systems, missile batteries, energy shields, and the power source?" Varkesh asked, though he seemed afraid to hear the answer. Admiral Zexthor hesitated. "They built an artificial star, a contained fusion reaction at the core. It generates more power than our entire fleet combined." The council chamber erupted again, this time in fear. "An artificial star? That's impossible. How did they learn this technology?" Elder Shira spoke again. "They didn't learn it from anyone. They invented it themselves. But humans are primitive." "We're primitive," she corrected. "We underestimated them. When we rejected them, they didn't give up. They worked. For 50 years they worked in secret. While we laughed at them, they were building these monsters." A military commander named General Thrax stood up. He was a veteran of 1,000 battles. "We must strike now," he said. "Before they finish building more of these warships, we can gather our fleets and what?" Elder Shira interrupted. "Did you not hear what the Admiral said? Our weapons cannot penetrate their shields. One of these warships could destroy our entire fleet." "She's right," Admiral Zexthor agreed. "I ran combat simulations. Even if we sent every ship we have, we would lose." General Thrax sat down slowly. His confidence was gone. Council leader Varkesh looked old and tired. "What do the humans want? Have they made any demands?" "No," Zexthor said. "They haven't contacted us at all. They just watch and wait." That's what worries me most, Elder Shira said. They're not attacking. They're not threatening. They're just showing us what they built. It's a message. What message? That they don't need us anymore. We rejected them when they were weak. Now they're strong. Strong enough to stand alone. A junior officer burst into the chamber. Admiral, urgent news. What is it? Our deep space scanners just detected something. Near the human border, another warship? The officer's hands were shaking. No, sir. 3 more warships. They just appeared. They were hiding somehow. We didn't see them until now. The council chamber fell silent. 4 planet-sized warships. And possibly more they hadn't detected yet. Council leader Varkesh stood up slowly. He looked at every member of the council. 50 years ago, we made a choice. We rejected the humans. We called them weak. We laughed at them. He paused. Now we face the consequences of that choice. The humans built an army in secret. An army we cannot defeat. What do we do? Someone asked. Admiral Zexthor looked at the star map. 4 massive warships sat at the edge of human space, waiting, watching. We have 2 options, he said. We can try to make peace, or we can prepare for war. And if we choose war? General Thrax asked. Zexthor looked at him coldly. Then we all die. The council sat in stunned silence. Somewhere in human space, inside one of the massive warships, alarms began to sound. Sensors detected a massive energy buildup. The galaxy was gathering its forces, and they were heading toward Earth. The humans had prepared for this moment. For 50 years they had built their defenses. Now they would see if it was enough, because the entire galaxy was coming for them. First contact battle. 3 weeks had passed since the council meeting. The galaxy was mobilizing for war. Admiral Zexthor stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Destiny's Hammer. Behind him were 2,000 warships, the largest fleet ever assembled. Ships from every corner of the galaxy had joined. The Cretan Empire sent their dreadnoughts. The Vex Collective sent their carrier groups. Even the mysterious Shadow Syndicate sent support vessels. All ships report ready, Admiral, his tactical officer announced. Zexthor looked at the view screen. Ahead, floating in the darkness of space, was one of the human warships. It sat there silently, waiting. Open a channel, he commanded. The communications officer worked quickly. Channel open, sir. Attention, human vessel. This is Admiral Zexthor of the Galactic Council Fleet. You have violated galactic law by building weapons of mass destruction. Power down your systems and surrender immediately. Silence. They waited for 5 minutes. No response. Send the message again, Zexthor ordered. Again, silence. General Thrax stepped forward. They're ignoring us. This is an insult. We should... Suddenly, the communications panel lit up. A voice came through. It was calm, almost peaceful. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Platform Titan. You are entering human territory without permission. Turn around and leave. The bridge crew looked at each other in surprise. The voice was human, and it was just one person talking. Admiral Zexthor frowned. Captain Chen, you are surrounded by 2,000 warships. You are alone. Surrender now and we will show mercy. Another pause. Then Captain Chen spoke again. Admiral, I'm going to say this one time. You have 10 minutes to turn your fleet around and leave. This is your only warning, General Thrax laughed. One human, threatening an entire fleet. The arrogance! But Admiral Zexthor didn't laugh. Something felt wrong. The human voice was too calm, too confident. Captain Chen, we do not wish to destroy you. But we will if we must. Power down now. 9 minutes, Admiral. Zexthor's patience was running out. Tactical, target their weapon systems. Fire a warning shot. Yes, sir. 3 battleships fired their main cannons. Massive energy beams shot across space. They struck the human warship directly. The entire fleet watched. The beams hit the surface of the planet-sized warship. And then, nothing. The beams dispersed. Like water hitting solid rock. No damage, sir. The tactical officer reported. His voice was shaking. Impossible. Fire again. Full power. This time, 50 ships fired together. The combined firepower could destroy a moon. The beams converged on one point of the human warship. The warship's shields lit up. A beautiful blue energy field appeared around the entire structure. The beams hit the shield and simply vanished. Shield strength. Zexthor demanded, sir. We didn't even scratch it. The shield absorbed everything. Captain Chen's voice came through again. That was a mistake, Admiral. You just attacked us. Now you have 5 minutes to leave. General Thrax slammed his fist on the console. All ships, open fire. Destroy that thing. Wait, Zexthor shouted, but it was too late. 2,000 warships opened fire simultaneously. The space between the fleet and the human warship became a wall of energy and missiles. Thousands of weapons firing at once. The human warship sat there, its shields glowing brighter and brighter as they absorbed the attack. For 5 full minutes, the fleet fired everything they had. Then the order came to cease fire. The guns went silent. Everyone stared at the view screen. The human warship was undamaged. Not even a scratch. The shields were still at full power. Impossible, someone whispered. Captain Chen's voice came through one last time. You had your chance. Now you face the consequences. Suddenly, the human warship began to change. Massive panels across its surface slid open. Thousands of gun ports revealed themselves. The entire planet-sized structure bristled with weapons. Sir, energy spike. Massive energy spike, the sensor officer screamed. Evasive maneuvers. All ships scatter, Zexthor shouted, but it was too late. The human warship fired, not thousands of weapons. Not hundreds, just one. A single massive beam of pure white energy shot from the center of the warship. The beam was 50 kilometers wide. It cut through space like a knife through paper. Everything in its path simply ceased to exist. Ships didn't explode. They didn't burn. They just vanished, turned to atoms. The beam swept across the fleet in 3 seconds. When it stopped, Admiral Zexthor looked at his tactical display. His blood ran cold. Half the fleet was gone. 1,000 ships. Destroyed in 3 seconds. All ships. Retreat, retreat now. He screamed. The remaining ships turned and ran. But the human warship wasn't done. Smaller weapons fired now. Thousands of them. They tracked the fleeing ships with perfect accuracy. Missiles launched. Energy beams shot out. Ships exploded one by one. Some tried to fight back. It didn't matter. The human weapons found them all. Admiral Zexthor's flagship was hit. The shields failed instantly. The hull breached in 20 places. Abandon ship, he ordered. The crew rushed to the escape pods. Zexthor was the last to leave. As his pod ejected, he watched his beautiful flagship break apart. Around him, the battle was ending. It wasn't really a battle. It was a massacre. Of the 2,000 ships that had entered human space, only 300 escaped. And most of those were damaged. The human warship sat in space, its weapons still active, watching the survivors flee. Captain Chen's voice came through one final time. This time it was broadcast to every ship in the galaxy. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Platform Titan. Today, you attacked human territory without cause. You fired first. We defended ourselves. Let this be a lesson to the galaxy. Humanity will not be threatened. We will not be bullied. We sought peace 50 years ago. You rejected us, so we prepared for war. And if you come for us again, we will not show mercy. This is your only warning. Leave us alone. The transmission ended. Across the galaxy, billions watched the recordings. The most powerful fleet ever assembled. Destroyed in minutes by one human warship. The escape pods drifted in space, waiting for rescue. Admiral Zexthor sat in his pod, staring at nothing. Around him, he heard his officers crying. Some were praying. Others were silent in shock. How many? General Thrax asked from another pod. His voice was broken. 1,700 ships destroyed, someone reported. Almost 90,000 casualties. By one warship, Thrax whispered. Just one. Admiral Zexthor thought about the star maps, the intelligence reports, the mining operations. If humans built one warship that could do this, how many more did they have? The answer came 3 days later. Council leader Varkesh received a message. It was from Earth, a simple video file. He played it in front of the entire council. The video showed space, empty space. Then one by one, massive warships appeared. They had been hiding somehow. Using stealth technology beyond anything the galaxy possessed, the council counted them. Their faces grew paler with each one. 7 planet-sized warships, and at the end of the video, a message appeared in simple text. We wanted peace. You wanted war. You chose poorly. Stay away from Earth. This is your final warning. The video ended. Council leader Varkesh sat down slowly. His hands were shaking. What have we done? he whispered. The galaxy responds. The news spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Humanity had defeated the Council fleet. 1,700 ships destroyed by just one warship. Some species were terrified. They immediately declared neutrality and closed their borders, but others were angry. Very angry. In the throne room of the Krill Empire, Emperor Vax Iron roared in rage. The Krill were the strongest military power in the galaxy. They had never lost a war. Humans, he screamed. Weak, pathetic humans? They dare to humiliate us. His generals stood silently. They had seen the battle recordings. They knew what humanity was capable of. Your Majesty, one general said carefully, perhaps we should reconsider. Silence. The Emperor's eyes burned with fury. The Krill Empire does not run from anyone. We will crush these humans and take their technology. Across the galaxy, similar conversations were happening. The Zelthon hive mind saw humanity as a threat to their expansion. The corporate syndicate wanted human technology for profit. The theocracy of Sacred Light believed humans were sinners who must be punished. One by one, species joined together, not for peace. For conquest, Council leader Varkesh tried to stop them. This is madness. Did you not see what happened? One human warship destroyed our fleet. Emperor Vaxarn laughed. You sent 2,000 ships. We will send 20,000, 30,000, however many it takes. They have 7 warships. Varkesh shouted. Then we will bring 100,000 ships. The Emperor replied coldly. Numbers will win. They cannot be everywhere at once. Admiral Zexthor, who had survived the first battle, stood up. Your Majesty, I fought them. Their technology is beyond anything we have. Their shields are impenetrable. Their weapons can destroy. Then we will find a way to break their shields. The Emperor interrupted. We will adapt. We will overcome. The Krill Empire has conquered 1,000 worlds. We will not be stopped by one species. Elder Shira shook her head sadly. You are all fools. You learned nothing from the first battle. We learned that humans can be hurt, a military commander said. The Admiral's fleet damaged their pride, made them angry. That means they can bleed. No, Zexthor said quietly. We didn't hurt them at all. They weren't even trying. That warship used one weapon. One. It has thousands, maybe millions. They were holding back. But nobody wanted to listen. Over the next 6 months, the galaxy prepared. Every military species contributed ships. The corporate syndicate funded the operation. Scientists worked to develop new weapons. They studied the battle recordings over and over, looking for weaknesses, looking for any way to defeat the human shields. They found nothing, but they didn't care. They had numbers, overwhelming numbers. Finally, the fleet was ready. 50,000 warships gathered at the rally point, the largest military force in galactic history. Ships from 200 different species, all united with one goal: destroy humanity. Emperor Vaxian stood on his command ship, the Eternal Conquest. It was a massive dreadnought, 10 kilometers long, the pride of the Krill Empire. Today, he announced to the fleet, we show these humans their place. They think they are strong. We will teach them humility. All ships set course for Earth. The Armada moved forward. 50,000 ships traveling through hyperspace. 3 days later, they arrived at the edge of human territory, and they stopped. Because waiting for them were 3 human warships. Not 7. Just 3, Emperor Vaxiron laughed. They only sent 3? They must be desperate. But Admiral Zexthor, who had been forced to join this mission, felt his stomach turn to ice. Your Majesty, he said quietly, this is wrong. If they only sent 3 warships, it means they're scared. The Emperor interrupted. All ships battle formation. Prepare to attack. The 50,000 ships spread out. They formed a massive wall of steel and firepower. Each ship powered up its weapons. The 3 human warships sat silently in space, waiting. Then a transmission came through, a human voice. This is Admiral Marcus Cole of the Earth Defense Fleet. You are entering human territory with hostile intent. This is your final warning. Turn around now or face destruction. Emperor Vaxiron sneered. I am Emperor Vaxiron of the Krill Empire. We do not take orders from inferior species. You will surrender, or we will... Wrong answer. Admiral Cole interrupted. The 3 human warships began to move. They didn't attack. They moved into a triangle formation, perfectly spaced. Then they stopped. What are they doing? Someone asked. Suddenly, all three warships began to glow. Energy built up across their surfaces. Bright blue light that grew brighter and brighter, sir. Energy readings are off the scale, the sensor officer reported. I've never seen anything like this. All ships open fire, the Emperor commanded. 50,000 ships fired at once. The combined firepower was unimaginable, enough to destroy an entire solar system. The weapons hit the three human warships. The shields absorbed everything, just like before. But then something new happened. The three warships began to change. Massive sections of their hulls opened. Mechanical arms extended. Energy conduits connected between them. They're combining. Someone shouted it was true. The three planet-sized warships were connecting to each other, forming something larger, something impossible. Within 5 minutes, the transformation was complete. The three warships had become one massive structure, a triangle-shaped platform. Each side was the size of a planet. At the center, where the three warships met, a massive cannon began to form. It was enormous, bigger than anything the galaxy had ever seen. All ships retreat. Admiral Zexthor screamed. It's a trap. Retreat now. But the Emperor wouldn't listen. No, we have them outnumbered. Continue firing. The massive cannon at the center of the human platform began to glow. White light. Pure energy. Building and building, sir. That energy signature. If they fire that weapon... The tactical officer couldn't finish. His hands were shaking too much. What, tell me? Sir, that weapon has enough power to destroy everything in this sector, including us. The Emperor's confidence finally broke. All ships, retreat! The human weapon fired. A beam of pure white energy shot forward. But this wasn't like before. This beam was different. It split. 1 beam became 10. 10 became 100. 100 became 1,000. Each beam tracked a different ship with perfect accuracy. The beams moved through space faster than light. Ships tried to dodge. It didn't matter. The beams followed them, found them, destroyed them. The Emperor's flagship was hit. The shields lasted for exactly half a second. Then the hull vaporized. Admiral Zexthor watched from his escape pod as the fleet died. 25,000 ships gone in the first volley. The human weapon fired again. Another 25,000 ships turned to dust. In 30 seconds, the entire fleet was destroyed. 50,000 warships gone. The three human warships separated again. They returned to their original triangle formation, undamaged. Waiting. Across the galaxy, people watched in horror. The recording showed everything. The greatest fleet ever assembled. Wiped out in half a minute, Admiral Cole's voice came through on an open channel. This is Admiral Marcus Cole. Today you attacked us again. Again we defended ourselves. You wanted war. You got it. And you lost. Now hear this, galaxy. Humanity has been patient. We gave warnings. We showed mercy, no more. The next fleet that enters our territory will not be given a warning. They will simply die. We have 7 planet warships. Each one can do what you just witnessed. Stay away from Earth, stay away from human space. This is not a negotiation. This is a fact. Test us again and we will not stop at defense. We will bring war to your worlds. You have been warned. The transmission ended. The surviving escape pods drifted in space. There were thousands of them. Maybe tens of thousands. The only survivors of 50,000 ships. Admiral Zexthor floated in his pod, watching the human warships in the distance. Emperor Vaxiron was dead. Most of the military leadership was dead. The Krill Empire's entire fleet was gone. What do we do now? Someone asked over the emergency channel. Nobody had an answer. In the council chambers, the surviving leaders gathered. They looked at each other with fear and desperation. Council leader Varkesh stood up slowly. He looked old, tired, defeated. We have a choice to make, he said. We can continue this war and face extinction, or we can surrender. Surrender, someone shouted. We are the Galactic Council. We do not surrender. Then we die, Elder Shira said simply. Is your pride worth more than your species' survival? The chamber went silent. Humanity has sent us a message, Varkesh continued. They want to be left alone. They're not conquering. They're not expanding. They just want peace. The same peace we denied them 50 years ago, he paused. I propose we surrender. Completely, unconditionally. We ask for mercy and hope they give it. And if they don't? Someone asked. Varkesh looked at the hologram showing Earth's 7 warships. Then, he said quietly, we pray our deaths are quick. The vote was unanimous. The galaxy would surrender. Cole smiled slightly. Yes and no. We have the capability, but we've never tested it. And honestly, I hope we never have to. Do you think they'll honor the treaty? Time will tell. But I think we scared them enough. They know what we can do. They won't risk it again. She looked at the Earth on a monitor, her beautiful blue homeworld. Still damaged, still healing. 50 years ago we were dying. We asked for help and got nothing. So we saved ourselves. We built these warships to protect our home. And now maybe we can finally start rebuilding. The officer smiled. We won, Admiral. Did we? Cole asked quietly. We survived. We defended ourselves. But winning? Winning would have been if they had helped us 50 years ago. Winning would have been if this war never happened. She turned away from the monitor. But you're right. We survived. And survival is enough, for now. News of the treaty spread across the galaxy. Some celebrated. Others were angry. But everyone understood one thing. Humanity was now the most powerful military force in the known universe. 7 planet-sized warships, technology beyond imagination, and the will to use it if threatened. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Never underestimate humanity. Never mock the weak. Never reject those who ask for help. Because sometimes the weak become strong. And when they do, they remember who abandoned them 50 years ago. Humanity asked for peace and was refused. Today, humanity offered peace from a position of strength, and the galaxy accepted. The age of human dominance had begun, not through conquest, not through cruelty, but through strength, through determination, through the simple will to survive. Earth's 7 warships stood guard over human space, silent, watchful, ready, a reminder to the galaxy. Humanity wanted peace. But they were prepared for war, and in the end, that made all the difference. The end.